And welcome to the Allen Americans podcast. Tommy Daniels here, joined by Vinny Arseneau. And, long known as the Freight Train. I think I may have given him that nickname back when he was playing with Denver, the Cutthroats, the way he was taking our players out back during that championship series. And, of course, Steve Martinson, being the smart coach that he is, went out and signed him that next year. And, of course, Vinny, the rest is history. You've been a part of a lot of championships in Allen. Talk about that, if you would, and just the great times you had with the Americans.
Well, when Steve come grab me in the middle of the season the first year, I got there and, to be honest, when I played with Denver, I didn't really like all of you, but, I got in there and, Spencer Aschuk was coming to grab me at the airport, and I was like, yeah, that's the guy I probably hated the most in the team back in the days, but we end up now being one of the best friends and then probably like the best teammate I play with in the last, my past 6-year pro. So it's been great, but, I got there and, I just accept the challenge. And that year, I know that everybody was saying, that team is from the CHL. They only play in the CHL division. So that's why they're winning so much. And I just got there and from the CHL too, we just put our working boots and the run we did in the playoff is probably one of the best memory I'll remember in my hockey career till now. It was just crazy, coming down game 7 3 times. It was just unreal. And, the memories I got is just right now, I'm just shaking thinking about it.
So I asked Chad Costello this, and I'll be anxious to get your answer as well. What do you think was so special about those teams, Vinny, that, like you mentioned, overcoming a South Carolina team that was really good that year and just winning those back-to-back ECHL titles? What was it about Allen that made us so good?
I think the team, the captain team that we had, and I don't know why, but we always had that feeling, whatever would happen, we know we can come back in the game, even if we're losing 3-1 after 2. Nobody was coming in the room and say, hey, let's go. Everybody was like, we get it, we just need to do the right play and stuff. And I don't know if it was like magic or anything, but most of the time it was working. I remember one time losing, what was it, 6-1 or 6-0 after 2, and we did, I think, 5 goals in the first 10 minutes in the third. But who would tell we come back in that game? It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. We were positive, and I think the most of the guys that was there the second year knew how it works. And the game is never over, and we just believe in it. I think it just. And we just worked, when it was game time, we just put our work boots on and we're going for a win.
Vinny Arseneau joining us here on the Allen Americans podcast, and I asked Costello this when I talked to him, what do you take away from those championships? Because you never know. Some guys play their entire career. I'll go to the NFL, and Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl early in his career, never went back after that. So when you're winning those championships, how do you kind of put it in perspective that, hey, this is great, it's unbelievable, I may not ever get back here again? Do you cherish that moment when it happens, or are you too young in your career expecting that it's going to happen again?
Well, at first you don't realize it. I think I've been really lucky, won 3 championships in the past 7 years. So I've been really lucky, but more that I think about it, harder it is to actually get there.
Yeah.
But now because I'm an older player, but no, for sure. But I remember that I enjoy every moment on it, and like it is, hockey is so competitive, and one game can change anything. So you just need to embrace every moment. That if you can make a playoff run, you need to go for it, and it's no pain. It's just you just need to play, enjoy every moment, and hopefully at the end you can lift that cup. And when you lift that cup, it's unreal. Like, those memories was back to back with the big red team. It's just unreal,
You've been in the American Hockey League now for the last several years. That's a big deal. And I know every player's dream is to move up from, the lower level. You've been close to the NHL, I think, with your play. Not only are you a physical player, and what I would, the definition of a true power forward. You hit, you score, you do everything that you would ask of a teammate and what the American Hockey League looks for. Talk about that experience, if you would, playing in the AHL, and how did you get there? What did they tell you when you first got your job in Utica, and how have you been able to keep it every year?
Well, I think I learned a lot through the year. If you go into CHL, from after that you go into ECHL. Those league, back in the days, they were hard, and everybody's saying it's bad hockey and stuff. And for me, I just took it as a challenge, and for me, it was just going there to win championship. And I had 3 years in a row in the final and won 2, and I think I just learned from that. And I took every, from Martinson or Armstrong that had in Denver, those guys play in the NHL, so they know the roots. And I just took every tips they gave me. I just took it. And even when I was going up and down in San Jose, everything what somebody tell me, I just put in my hockey bag, and I try to use it the most. And yes, I might not be the best hockey player, but normally my intensity and my physical play and I work really hard in every sequence of hockey, and I think that's how I get a regular job in the American Hockey League from now.
What advice would you give to a young hockey player starting out that wants to play the style of game that you play? Big, physical, strong, hit, will drop the gloves, and can score. What advice would you give to that guy?
Oh, it's hockey is you're lucky to play hockey. You need to embrace every moment from it. And me, it's just it's the thing is from my dad that I learned that a little bit. But you need to do everything toward winning a game. So if I need to hit, or I need to fight, or I need to score a big goal, I was trying to do everything. And I got lucky enough to have Steve as a coach that trusts me and believe in me. I learned so much from him, and I had great teammate too. And I had the chance to play with Chad Costello, and that probably some record will never get beat from him. So, it's just I enjoy every moment. And I was not maybe the best, but if Chad told me to go get the puck, and I was going to go get it, So we had great memories, and I just you need to go. If I see a kid or kind of same style of me of playing, you just need to learn and work your balls off every day. And you never know. I worked for 5 years to receive that one call, and you're coming up and not going down after. It took me 5 years. I could have quit. I could have said, all right, it's enough. I just put the works boots on, and I just hopefully get that call one time and end up having it. And I've been there for 3 years, and hopefully for the future as well.
Last thing for you, my question is, do you work harder in the off season or during the season? Because most people don't know what you do in the off season, but I see on social media how hard you work. Which is tougher, going to training camp and getting ready for a hockey season, or what you do in the off season?
It's really different stuff. But yeah, I know coming from a fishing island in the middle of the Gulf St. Laurent, and I just get involved a lot with the fishing. So this year I fish snow crab for 2 months, and it's pretty intense. It's 24 hours up, and it's just nonstop working, catching crab, putting in baits, and running on a boat. But it's part of kind of our blood here on the island. So I just enjoy doing it instead of just stay home, go at the gym and stuff. And it's something different. And for my mental, I think it's good. I just do something else a little bit, and it make me realize that play hockey is pretty fun.
Well, you know what? You do that so well. And what a great guy. Fans love you. And I know people will be excited to see this interview. Vinny, thank you again for all the great memories you gave us in Allen. You always showed up to work every night and gave it 180%. And that's, I think, what people loved about you. I call them the freight train, because let me tell you something. If you were an open ice, the last guy you wanted to see coming after you was number 16, because if he hit you, you knew it. And more than likely you were going down and you weren't getting up right away. Vinny, thanks again for doing this. Best of luck the rest of the summer. Be safe, and we'll see you and keep up with you this year in Utica.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Once Reds, always red.
There you go. The great Vincent Arseneau joining us here on the Allen Americans podcast.